3 United Nations agencies have warned that untold thousands of innocent victims will die in Yemen unless the Saudiled military coalition lifts its blockade. Medicines, food and fuel have been prevented from entering the war-torn country through rebel-held ports like Hodeidah, the channel for the vast bulk of imports. Yemen already has 7 million people on the brink of famine, but without the reopening of all ports, that number could grow by 3.2 million, the heads of the World Food Programme, UNICEF and the World Health Organization said in a joint statement. UN leaders appeal for lifting of blockade of Yemen to allow in vital supplies of medicine and food for those trapped in worst humanitarian crisis in the world. https://coke3iahugevapik.twitter.com 9bw1lafoo WFP Media at WFP_Media 16 November 2017. The Saudis, however, blame the crisis on Yemen's Houthi rebels, backed by Iran. They are the ones who are responsible for the starvation by laying sieges on towns and villages and preventing supplies from coming in or going out and randomly shelling those areas, Saudi Arabia's Foreign Minister Adel al-Jubeir told Reuters in an interview. That's why you have the starvation that's taking place in Yemen, and people need to do a more serious job of holding the Houthis accountable for this. An appeal by WHO less than a greater than Director General less than arrests Twitter.com UNICEF ref_SRCTWSRC% 5 ETFW greater than UNICEF Executive Director and WFP less than a greater than Executive Director. On behalf of all those whose lives are at imminent risk, we reiterate our appeal to allow humanitarian access in less than arrests Twitter.com #Yemen search ref_SRCTWSRC% 5 ETFW Yemen less than a greater than without further delay less than ahref https://cockbus86s https://cockbus86s less than a greater than less than ahref https://com ad7phhvzx pic.twitter.com ad7phvzx less than a greater than p greater than UNICEF Yemen UNICEF_Yemen 16 November 2017. At least 1 million children are at risk if a fast-spreading diphtheria outbreak is not stopped in its tracks, and the lives of 400,000 pregnant women and their babies are under threat because of the lack of medicines. There is also the risk of a renewed flare-up in cholera, which was on the wane after the most explosive outbreak ever recorded, with over 900,000 cases and 2,200 deaths in the past 6 months. The number of new cholera cases has declined for the last 8 weeks, Sharon Varki, UNICEF deputy representative in Yemen, said in a telephone interview from Sana'a on Thursday. The government-controlled port of Aden has reopened and Sana'a airport is operating for commercial flights, however this is inadequate as needs are so huge, he said. Children of Yemen are paying a heavy price for this war. Since the current blockade, we have been unable to bring essential medical nutrition supplies, vaccines which are truly life-saving for Yemen children. Pic.twitter.com @5zimzoab, Sharon Varki @Varkis v 15 November 2017. The coalition tightened its blockade of Yemen this month after a missile was fired towards the Saudi capital, saying the flow of arms from Iran to the Houthis had to be stemmed. Iran denies arming the Houthis, but Yemeni militiamen are vowing to respond to the blockade with an upsurge in fighting. More than 10,000 people have been killed in 2 years of conflict, and UN leaders say that Yemen is now the worst humanitarian crisis in the world. Yemen over 50k children expected to die of starvation disease by end of the year. Children under attack at Independent https://coxcbb1mj UNICEF at UNICEF 16 November 2017 with Reuters.